Hello fellow hunters of the blue, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to another painting tutorial. And in this tutorial I want to try to nail down the Heavy Metal Studio paint job for the Necron weapons. So this will be a bit of an advanced video, but I really encourage you to try it out because it's really good fun and it's an amazingly good practice to gain brush control. So let's get cracking. As you can see, we're starting from a base coat of a 1-to-1 mix of Warpstone Glow and Caliban Green. This is to establish our midtone, and my first step will be to make a glaze using Warpstone Glow to establish the first highlight. This is the kind of consistency I'm going for, so it's quite a thick glaze. We're doing an NMM pattern, so I will start with a highlight here on the middle. Move your brush from the darkest part to the part you want to be lighter, and I will do the opposite in this plane. So my highlights will be just opposing the shadows on the other side there. Here in the crystal I would just be doing a highlight towards the bottom. Don't worry too much about smoothness, we will correct that later on, but we want to build it a solid Warpstone Glow on our blade. My first highlight, my first pass here is already dry, so I'm going to do the second one so you can see it. Don't do a pass until you are sure it's dry. For example, here we have that wet spot there. If we do another pass now, we will disturb that and create a very ugly seam line there, which we don't want. Be sure everything is bone dry before you apply a second coat. Our first highlight with Warpstone Glow is now done. You can see that even with that quite thick glaze, we have a very smooth transition, but we are going to make it even smoother. I'm going to take pure Caliban Green, again thinning it down to a glaze consistency, but this time it is quite a thin glaze, and I am going to apply this in the opposite direction, so from the light parts into the dark. Same here, from the light parts into the dark. I will use this to smooth our transition until it's perfect, and until we have a pure Caliban Green in the shadows. Oops. Be patient with this. If you're having trouble with your glazes, you can thin the paint down using just Lamian medium, or any sort of medium really. I like Lamian, but you can also use water to do this. But again, if you're having trouble, thin the paint down just using Lamian medium and you will get a very smooth result. Now we have our shadow with Caliban Green done, and you can see how much that transition is now perfectly smooth. I'm going to take black and I'm going to thin it down again to a glaze consistency. You will hear that two words a lot in this video, and I'm going to increase the shadows to pure black. I'm just going to build this into the very darkest parts of the blade. Also pick up any of the recesses if they have them, and again here on the top, here on the top, here on the bottom, that way all the way around the blade. Our last shadow with pure black is now done. I'm going to move into the next highlight now that I have everything else established. This is Mood Green. I'm thinning it down again to a glaze consistency, sort of like that, quite thin. And I'm going to apply a highlight, again moving into the darker sections and into the lighter sections, just as we did with Warpstone Glow. just like that. Again, don't be afraid if it's a bit patchy in the lighter parts, because you have to build this very slowly until you have pure mood green in the lighter sections. Again, be sure it's bone dry before you apply a second coat of this. You really don't want to mess this up. I just finished applying my last glaze with mood green, and you can see it's even still a bit wet. And I'm going to take pure mood green this time, and I'm going to edge highlight the blade. So I'm just going to, whoop, that was really thick. Doesn't matter because it was on the lighter side, but be careful. I'm starting with easy bit, which is the parts where I can go with the side of the brush. And don't forget to also do the hard parts, which are these ridges here. My edge highlight with mood green is now finished, and I'm going to do another highlight. This is dawn yellow. I'm filling my dawn yellow into a glaze consistency. You can see how thin that is there. And this time, because this is a very light color with a lot of white, I'm using Lamy medium to thin down, because otherwise it will be very hard, even for me that I have quite a good control with glazes, to do it smoothly. So I will just apply in my dawn yellow. Look how little paint I'm applying on each pass, and I'm just building this very slowly. If this happens to you, like happened to me here, you can see there is a very harsh line. This is the kind of thing that can happen with glazing these light colors. Don't worry too much, just go back into your mood green and apply this over that transition there. Again, this is very thin, it's the same glaze of mood green. And smooth those transitions up with mood green. My highlight with dawn yellow is now done. I might do another pass after this step, but for now I'm happy. In the same way we did with the mood green, I'm going to edge highlight the blade using pure dawn yellow. Again, I'm just going especially through all the most exposed bits. Don't forget to do the middle ridges here. Here on this middle crystal, I will try to pick up these corners here. Same here. With an edge highlight of dawn yellow out of the way, it's time to move into the last step of the blade. This is taking pure white, and I will just do another edge highlight, but this time only in the most prominent edges and very small. For example, here where the dawn yellow is more intense, I'm going to do an edge highlight there. Same here and here. And I will do a small dots of this in the other parts, for example, here in the corners. And with that, last highlight done, and a bit of the surrounding details painted just so you can see it in context. Our blade is finished and I'm really proud of this paint job. It's really close to the Heavy Metal Studio one, which is what I wanted, and I really hope you find it useful. So, as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye! Do you like my videos and want to help me make them? Well, there are several ways you can do that. You can follow me on social media, you have the links to all my social media in the description below. You can also check all my affiliate links in the pinned comment of this video. Use those links in your next hobby purchase and help me without any additional cost to you. But most importantly, there is Patreon. You have the link to my Patreon in the description below and in the pinned comment of the video. Patreon helps me do all the cool projects that I want to make and helps me improve the quality of my videos. Don't be afraid, no content will ever be hidden behind a paywall, but it's a nice way to help me and you will get something back for your generosity. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and a special thank you to Ben Morin, Gerald Moore, Raul Sanchez, Christophe Moret, Joshua Bohannon, Beldrain, Ryan Mann, Daniel Figueiredo, Kieran Umurthile, Michael Boye, Charles Armintash, Victor Domen, Vilkas Ward, G4 Sheeny, Kevin Sulas, Gareth Smith, Richard Kekowski, Leonard Lindemann, Eldrick Hedge, Mark Jarvis, Jonathan Ekelund, Dr. V, Manuel Vilela, JT Butler, Dominic Trevizo, Mateo de Rienzo, Josh Simpson, and Sasha Park for being the coolest persons in the planet. Be like these fine folks, join my Patreon, and take control.